Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Berea City Council meeting Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. I'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, if you would let the record reflect that a quorum is present. This time, I'd call on Council Member Jerry Little to lead us in the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry?
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray you'll give our council here tonight the wisdom and the courage to do what is best for our city, our employees, and our citizens. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jerry. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda by Jim Davis, second by Katie Startzman? Any discussion on the agenda, on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, please say no. Motion carries and the agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our November 7th, 2023 meeting. Is there a motion to approve? By Jerry Little, is there a second? By Teresa Centers. Any changes or corrections to the minutes from November 7th? Edits? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes from November 7th, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries and the minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda was we had an amendment. Thanksgiving and Small Business Saturday are sneaking up on us this year. It's going to come quicker than we expected, I'm afraid. And we do have a proclamation. Each year we do a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, and I'll go ahead and read the proclamation for 2023. Whereas the government of Berea, Kentucky celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, and whereas according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, there are 33.2 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 62.7% of net new jobs created since 1995, and small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the United States stays in the local community, and every dollar spent at small businesses creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing goods and services. And whereas 72% of consumers reported that Small Business Saturday 2022 made them want to shop and dine at small, independently owned retailers and restaurants all year long. And whereas Berea, Kentucky supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now therefore, I, Bruce Fraley, Mayor of the City of Berea, do hereby proclaim November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and Sharp Small Saturday throughout the year. And again, this is our proclamation this year, and in keeping with past tradition, we typically invite a representative of our small business and entrepreneur community in the city of Berea to attend to accept the proclamation on behalf of all small businesses. And this year I asked Alex Sipple from Get Outside Kentucky, who's helped us with some things in tourism and has run a good business, to come and accept that. Alex, if you would be so kind as to come up, and council, if you'll squeeze in, we'll do a photo op. Rose?
Good. Thanks for coming.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you? Where's everybody?
I don't know. They quit us.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All
Hello, everyone. Local community members, city council, thank you so much for everything that you do. And we appreciate the initiatives that are put into place to support not only big businesses, but small businesses and just local community members in general. If anyone is familiar with small businesses and the impact, he did give a little bit of statistics that do go a long way within small communities, especially like Berea. So to be able to have the culture and the impact of such businesses is quite important. There are more stats. I did not bring anything. I didn't really know I was going to be standing up, but once again, thank you all, and just know that, you know, each and every one of you, if you all are small business owners, you know, we appreciate what you do, and we're all here to collaborate. Obviously, the city and tourism are more than welcome to lend a hand. So again, thank you all, and let's continue this tradition for SAP.
Thank you, Alex.
Absolutely.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the Janice Blythe Award. I'm very happy to recognize our Human Rights Commission Chairman, Mark Workman, along with several other members of the Berea Human Rights Commission that are here tonight to present this award. Mark, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council members, ladies and gentlemen that are here tonight. A little bit about the Dr. Janice Blythe Youth Award. Given since 2017, the Berea Human Rights Commission renamed the Youth Award that was a John G. Fee to the Dr. Janice Blythe. Dr. Blythe was a longtime commissioner of the Berea Human Rights and a social justice advocate. This award is presented to a youth aged 22 or younger who has promoted social justice and advocated against discrimination in Berea. If you do not know about Dr. Janice Blythe, I suggest you go on the internet. I was going to say a few things, but I don't know how you can pick them out. There's 2 pages on the internet of all the things that she did. But let me read the nomination that was sent to us by Miss Bland, as Virginia Bland, and this is what she wrote for this year's winner. It is because of her advocacy for people with disabilities that she started at 8 years old. She has advocated through public speeches in her school, community, and at the state level. She has attended and led meetings on accessibility and other issues that affect people with disabilities. As a 3rd grader, she helped fundraise and promote awareness of disabilities in our community. Since 6th grade, she has been a member of her school's Different Abilities Club and participated on the school's Special Olympics unified teams for bowling and track, as well as Madison County Special Olympics golf team. As a part of the school club, she has helped plan disability awareness events, fundraisers for Special Olympics, and promote autism awareness at City Council when April was recognized as Autism Awareness Month, which she has led many of autism events and informing the parents and communities of resources. She's also planned and initiated conversations with disabled consumers about accessibility at the state capitol building, met with House of State Representatives Bray and Reed, working on the project. She also reached out and talked to people in Governor Beshear's, U.S. Representative Barr, Senator Paul, and McConnell's offices to discuss issues. She has also served on the Superintendent's Advisory Council, as well as other activities in school. As a 6th grader, she was awarded the Citizenship Award for her leadership and involvement in school activities. As a student advisor for the State Mental Board, provided a student's perspective to issues that she sees facing students today. She has also befriended several stray cats in her neighborhood so they could be spayed and neutered, as well as providing food and building shelter for them to stay warm. If everybody would please help me, join me in congratulating Miss Chloe Carpenter as this year's award winner of the Janice Blythe Award. I hate put you on the spot, Chloe, but if you could come up, we have an award plaque for you, and we also have a little something for you. So I think we can just go on up here. Congratulations. I think everybody should know that in 2017, when this was the John G. Fee Award, I believe, his brother won the award, Nick. So, good job saving the family.
Behind you. Come on in here, Ron.
You know, in thinking about the up and down, we'll have a lot of up and down tonight right before Thanksgiving. I think it's an appropriate time to do all these things. Maybe we lose a little weight before we gain some on Thursday. But also, when you think about Small Business Saturday and being grateful for our small businesses, the Janice Blythe Award, and Chloe, a young person who's doing great work in our community, along with others. I know that there are others that work with you, Chloe, and that you inspire, and that's something that we should all be thankful for. We also are thankful for people who have meant a lot to our community, and we do have a special presentation tonight that I'm going to get started on here, and I'm going to read a little bit to you, so bear with me as I read some of this. Back in 1979, a long time ago, anybody remember what they were doing in 1979? I do. Back in 1979, the Berea City Council passed a resolution establishing an extraordinary citation to be known as the C.C. Hensley Distinguished Service Award. As you know, C.C. Hensley was the second mayor of the city of Berea, and this award was established on his 70th birthday in recognition of his service to the city. And traditionally, this has also been known as not only the Distinguished Service Award, but the Red Tie Award. If you look in the picture of Mayor Hensley, he always wore a tie like the one he's got on in the picture that was red, a red tie. And the first award that was awarded in 1979 was awarded a handmade tie that was specially made by Churchill Weavers. Of course, we don't have Churchill Weavers anymore, so the next best thing we could come up with was Berea College Student Craft, and they have made a handmade tie for us for this year's award. Originally, this award was given out annually, and more recently it's just been given out time to time to people who've made a difference in our community and who are deserving of recognition. And there's a list of the winners right over next to Rose on the wall that reminds us of people that have come before us that have made a difference in the community. The last recipient of this award, incidentally, was Randy Stone, our city administrator for 22 years, who received this award in 2019. Earlier this year, I talked with Councilman Jim Davis, and Jim wanted to put forth a nomination. And ironically, the first award was awarded posthumously to Franklin C. Green, also known as Crook Green, who was a retired city clerk of the city of Berea. And his wife accepted that in May of 1979 posthumously. This year, we're doing another award for the Distinguished Service Award, or the C.C. Hensley, the Red Tie Award, or C.C. Hensley Distinguished Service Award, and we're awarding that to Paul Michael Reynolds. Paul passed away a couple of years ago in 2021 after a long bout with COVID. But just to go over some of the things that Paul did that were important to our community is that he served on the Berea Chamber of Commerce for several decades, and he was served several terms on the as president of the Berea Chamber of Commerce, and also served for a long time on the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce. He was elected Man of the Year for the Chamber of Commerce, and was also voted to be a member of the Berea Chamber of Commerce Hall of Fame. He served on the Berea Tourism Commission for many years as the chamber representative on the board, and also something that I didn't know, that Paul served on the Southern Madison Water District Board for 16 years and served as president and a board member. In addition, he served on the board of directors and the secretary of the board for the Madison County Home Builders Association, and was appointed to the board for Cumberland Valley National Bank, and was also appointed to serve as District 1 Magistrate for our county fiscal court, which was a huge honor for Paul. And it would be inappropriate to talk about Paul Reynolds and remember him without remember his farming and his cattle farming. Agriculture seems to be a lost art, but Paul was one of the guys that you could rely on for advice. Paul had been there and done that and had a great herd that's still going strong today, kept up by the family. But Paul was very proud of his farm and very proud of his farming. I also asked Jim, who's been was a childhood friend and lifelong friend of Paul, what he would want to say about Paul, and Jim said that Paul supported many local projects with his time and money. He was a man of God who loved his family and loved his community, and I thought that was very fitting, Jim, so I wanted to repeat that. And at this time, we do have a lot of folks that were near and dear to Paul, including his 2 daughters, grandchildren, family members, co-workers, and special people to Paul. And I would ask all of you if you would like to come up and receive this award in Paul's memory and in his honor, and knowing that Paul will forever be enshrined with the Clint Hensley Red Tie Award. If y'all would please come forward, and you all can do a round of applause while they're coming up if you'd like. Can I get right in here between you guys? And I'll just reiterate my gratitude for everything that Paul did in his lifetime for our community, for our city, and for the people that live here. And I forgot to mention, Paul was a businessman for over 40 years, so local businessman, that business is being carried on. So my gratefulness to all of you for being here to celebrate Paul and remember him. Thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda is department head reports, and I'm very pleased to welcome back Donna Angel, our Director of Business and Tourism Development for the City of Berea, to give us an update on tourism and business in Berea. Donna, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, Ms. Beverly. It's always my pleasure to be able to give a report to our community and to you as well on the great things that we do in our community. Number one thing is I'm very pleased to always be able to say that we remain a great steady growth of our community on our new businesses through our corporate businesses, our small entrepreneur businesses, as well as our industrial business. It takes a very good blend to stay on target in that so that we don't get oversaturated in one thing or another, but we have a mix to offer any tourist or business person that would have an interest in coming into Berea. I always like to go back and kind of remind us each year or each quarter where we've come from over the last 3 years. And it is quite remarkable. Maybe it's not the top of where we wanted to be someday, but I think we're in pretty darn good shape. And I would not have wanted to grow us any faster than we have, but to keep up with everything else as we move along. In 2020, we did open 47 businesses, and we only had 6 closures, and most of those, as you know, were retirees, or the businesses did choose to retire and close down. So we had COVID against us. We had contracts that were in the middle of coming here and had to close out, slow down, or whatever. But we were fortunate enough to pick them up the next year as well. In 2021, we increased to 50 business openings, and we only had 2 closures. 2 of those closures were immediately sold, and new businesses were put in place of that. So we were really right there, no loss. In 2022, we grew to 55 business openings for that year, so we continue on a small growth pattern there, highlighting our city. We had 3 closures that year, maybe 2.5. We had the Kroger pickup company that did the home pickup deliveries here, and we just were not quite as strong as we needed to be in this immediate area for them. But it was a good run, and I think we all enjoyed having Kroger here and would certainly like to have them back someday. In 2023 to date, we are at 58 new business openings, which is still good, and we probably have 4 more that we'll try desperately to get open in the next few weeks to beat the Christmas rush as well. So as you can see, we've stayed on a good, strong target with a good, steady growth, which is wonderful. The second thing I'll just mention briefly, we all continue to work with our housing situation that we have in Berea. We are improving. We have great development going on. The builders are building. We got a little bit behind in the last few years with COVID and other things, but the housing market is an important issue to us here in Berea. As we grow our businesses, we grow the residents that move here, we have to be able to supply housing for that. So we are in a position right now that we are building lots of good homes here. The question that was asked the other day is, are they affordable homes? What is an affordable home? Mr. Davis asked me one day. So I've been to so many conferences recently that have been strictly related to affordability of homes and availability of them. And they really kind of go together, as we all know. It is very expensive to build a home today. The supplies remain high to build a home. The labor is higher than it was then. The amount of housing that we had prior to 2 years back, you know, we all know we could have purchased a really nice home for $150, but today we're paying $250 for that home. So the cost has gone up drastically on our home building. However, those are times that we may not see change too much with the times that we're going through and the future that we're growing into as well. So I think one of the speakers last week at one of the conferences mentioned that it's really difficult for him to build what's called and classified as an affordable house. We have many needs for housing that is 125 range or 150, and today that's an affordability house. So it is something that through the state that the governor is looking at, that we can find ways to create more development for affordable housing and more availability to offer those. We here in Berea continue with our industry, so every time we expand an industry or add a new piece of industry here, we must have housing for them as well. So that too feeds into how we do develop more housing units and so forth in Berea. So there has been funding set aside. I attended a SOAR conference just recently where 1.5 million had been set aside through the governor to help us to be able to recruit, to be able to bring others into our cities, to help us define the need, like a small needs assessment of what we can do to determine the housing that we need to supply for our industry as well. But with that funding, we also want to take that to another level on the small business side of that, to where those fundings will be available for that as well. But we want to be able to reach out to the small business owners. That is one issue that we're seeing more and more of, is we want to encourage, as Mayor Fraley said, the small business entrepreneurs make up our world today, all across. So it continues to grow, and as we say, we've got 68 cents on every dollar that stays in our community. That's our main focus, that we want to remain on target with that. But the stats are showing that the small business entrepreneurs are not living a long term of business due to maybe we all need to step up more and we need to do more pre-business coaching and so forth. In not just our community, but it's everywhere. But we did lose, the United States lost over 5 million small business entrepreneurs last year. That's down from many that we've had in the past. But again, there's funding that's going to be rolling out in February that will allow us to bring in state assistance to work more on different individual plans like that to help the small businesses before they open their doors, and be more accountable and have them accountable to their own business as well, and as far as that for the hiring piece of that as well. So I think a lot of small entrepreneurs open with just mom and dad or single owner, and we find that they cannot hold on to the length of time that is needed to be a one-person show. So we think with more internships through our local schools and our Ignite Tech School here, that we have a great opportunity to place more of our high school seniors, junior seniors into workforce today than we've ever had, while recruiting more and more from our local community to get them back in a tech school that would be a new trade for them as well. So we do see a lot of great things that are going to roll out next year, and we're excited to be a part of that and be able to share that in our community with local businesses as well. Just some of the things that I wanted to share with you. We always talk about workforce being business and industrial related. The workforce is great here in Berea for us. Can we improve? Yes, of course we can. But each industry that we have, everyone is on target where they want to be right now, so I consider that a great place to be. We've worked greatly with Hitachi Electric that a year and a half or 2 years back needed 165 employees. So they are currently filling their positions and are down to maybe needing no more than 40 employees to fill their shifts. So they're meeting their goals as they have planned them out over the years as well. Another great one to mention is Motor Wheel here in Berea as well, has done a great job of doing slow, progressive hiring. They too come to us a while back and were looking at hiring in 200 employees. That's fabulous for Berea. So we've done about 3 hiring events for them. and they're on target, a little bit above where they wanted to be on the time frame that we are. So we find that everyone is getting what we need. The skill set is better, and we are improving on getting other areas involved as well. Relocation has become a big thing with some of the industry, where they want to offer more incentives for you to come to Berea and live here and so forth. So I think the relocation packages that they're offering now is a good incentive, and it's certainly showing in the hiring work that we're getting attention on right now as well. Some of the things on business development that I've had the pleasure of attending and working with this year is, Mayor Fraley will tell you, we work greatly on preparing our sites for build-ready sites for our industry and small little facilities, manufacturing facilities. And I was privileged to travel in August, I think it was, with our Bluegrass Alliance and Commerce Lexington team to Atlanta to learn more from their community of site readiness and the things that went on for that. I'm here to tell you, Mayor Fraley, you don't have anything to worry about. We're 10 steps ahead of all of that. So kudos to you and Lucas Witt. We do great jobs on preparing great sites, and we just, I was real impressed coming back thinking, gosh, we did that 2 years ago, and they're just now doing that there. So it's all good stuff, and it was very informative, and I enjoyed that a lot. It's been my pleasure to work with Bluegrass Ad, our Workforce Innovation Board. I've been privileged to serve on their board for 4 years now, and they continue to grow as well. And one of the things that we do every 2 years is re-educate our board members. So that was quite an experience, and we were hosted and spent 2 days at EKU at the Scholar House there for some board members training, and we had great speakers that flew in from other states to share Robert's Rules updates and different things like that. So those are important, that we, if we're a leader in a community, that we always want to have the knowledge and the forefront to lead in the proper way. So those classes we found very successful, and we'll continue to work with those. The other great thing that I think we're doing is many of us work with Kentucky League of Cities, and they're great all the way around, and everything that we learn from them and so forth with their training classes. But I also am privileged to serve with Mayor Mike Hughes from Auburn, and he serves as our chair for the Advisory Council Board for KLC. Each year, we select a project that we feel is a much-needed project across the state of Kentucky, not just necessarily us or somewhere else. It includes the biggest vote of all of the board members that we have on our board, which is 17, but we talk about across the region what the problems are and what is the biggest one that we as an individual group could take on and tackle to improve. Last year we picked up housing and unhoused situations as well, so that we worked great with the Kentucky Housing Corporation and came up with great solutions to work on that, and that kind of rolled us this year into back to finding ways to work with construction development teams to figure out how we can build more affordable housing throughout the state of Kentucky, not just here. You look at some of the cities as Eastern Kentucky is, who desperately needs homes rebuilt and so forth. So it is all over our state where we need assistance in this area. So we're working on ways and people to bring into our state to work on that as well. I was privileged to attend a small business workshop in Louisville, which kind of flew back into what we were talking about early on, our retention of our business. And that's when we also learned that we will have funding that we can help to bring more classes, instructors, and teachers into our city to help prepare new business owners, completely complementary to the business owners, to develop them into better business owner skills through their budgeting, their business plans, you know, today it's kind of tough to go to a bank if you don't have a really good business plan that's going to exceed 3 to 5 years. So part of that will be bringing in Community Ventures and other groups that are financial aids to our communities as well. So we, Berea, do fit into, we were placed into an area of rural areas that the funding will come to us to be able to assist us with new business as well. So that too, we expect to roll out in February as well when everything else hits us there. One of the things that we all are going to miss this coming year, we were kind of spoiled with Dr. Peter Hackbert from Berea College, who is really the greatest outdoors person that we can find to work with, and his student engagement that he had on our outdoor trails. The tracking, the monitoring information, everything was just quite beneficial to the tourism piece as we get into that later. But we do want to say that he did retire in May, and we did have a very sad party for him. But I think he's back in town, and he's like, now what do I do? So we're going to find plenty of things that Dr. Hackbert can continue to work with us on, because he does involve the students, which we absolutely love working with and so forth. But he was great on working with us on small business entrepreneurship as well. We hosted 14 hiring events overall year to date for our Berea industry. It was a pleasure to work with Ignite, our tech school right here in Berea, on a family night, career night. It was great to see all the students that came out for that, and the business merchants and the industry that was there to highlight and show off all of the needs that they had employment-wise within their factories as well. We, another great thing that I work a lot since we're with Bluegrass Ad with Rolando Thacker, who is also business manager for Bluegrass Ad on the workforce team. And Rolando and I have visited with most of the industries. I think all of them we've completely covered here in Madison County, but one of the needs that was brought up is that the HR managers and assistant managers, along with their plant managers, felt this was perfect timing for us to form a quarterly meeting. Bi-monthly, whatever they want to do is quite okay, but we'd like to get back together to where we're talking as an industry group on the needs and how we can share within the industrial parks the needs that can be met with each other and creating better collaboration there. We too will roll that out in January of this year. Last thing on my business development report is, as Mayor Fraley said, this Saturday, November 25th, will be Shop Small Saturday in Berea. That's always a great shopping day. Dollars spent in this town is wonderful. As he said, it stays in our town. That's really our biggest spending day compared. The next biggest day would be Christmas week, right before Christmas hits. So we've been out all day. The tourism staff and Small Business Development Center, Valerie Henderson and I've been out. We've covered every inch of town today to try to get out and leave Shop Small notifications and posters and window stick-ems so that you can show in your store that you support Shop Small Saturday on that. I'll go right into tourism because I know I'm taking a little bit longer than I should here. Tourism, we've attended every festival we can because that's important to tourism. That is a high dollar revenue for us in Berea. So we have visited Southern Highlands Arts and Crafts Festival in Asheville, North Carolina, Midway Festival, Bardstown, and the Kentucky Guild this summer. We go to these different festivals so that we can see what we can be adding to ours, what we're missing. We go to recruit new artists and craft makers that we don't have here that would be a highlight for our community as well. So we've been busy trying to prepare and get our thoughts together on that as well for next year. We completed our summer series of music concerts that we offered at the Chestnut Street Pavilion again this year, and they were really welcomed and wonderful talent. What we love most about hosting those concerts at the pavilion is that these are our local musicians, and some of these musicians have never been invited to perform in their own city. So this is an opportunity for us to learn and see what we have right here in our own town. So they're well received, we love them, and we hope to continue to do that again. This was our second year on that. We continue to roll along with our Learn Shop classes, and we are currently prepping for next weekend, which will be our first Make It, Take It, Give It classes, where you'll come in with a local artist and create a gift, and you'll take it home or bring it to me, whatever you'd like to do there. So we enjoy that every year, and it gets bigger and bigger, so we're very pleased to work with that. I want to say that we have recently placed a tourism staff member back in the Kentucky Artisan Center, and we're getting great reviews. And the Kentucky Artisan Center has been absolutely wonderful to welcome us in there. And we are trying to do more of letting them know as the visitors come in there of what items and stores and other businesses we have in town, and giving them maps as well of where we're located if you're looking for a certain item and so forth. So I think that will be a big push for us for the whole month of December, is to share that, to get more and more people back in and around our city as well. So we're very appreciative of that. The next biggest thing I'd like to share with us is that Berea was recently, we started in August, so maybe in May or June, we were approached by the Kentucky Educational Development Cabinet to begin a new program funded by the state to assist all parties. This class is a Renaissance educational type class of teaching arts and crafts to the teachers throughout the state of Kentucky. So the juniors and senior teachers we are now hosting throughout a year. It's a year-long program. But the great thing is the teachers are coming from all over the state of Kentucky. We have 58 counties that are sending teachers here to Berea to take classes from our local artists that are teaching these classes. And they are not missing their schoolwork. They are covered through the grant to be able to be away from their classrooms for 2 days and participate here. The good thing about that is that touches every piece of Berea. These teachers stay overnight, they shop with us, they dine with us, they're staying in hotels with us, and they gas up with us before they leave. So it has been a wonderful tribute to our local artists as well as the state to recognize us for what our local arts and crafts means to the state of Kentucky. So that will continue through next June for that program. So we may have last weekend, special thank you goes out to Honeysuckle, who crammed, or the weekend before, I think. No, it might have been last weekend. But we had over 200 teachers here for the weekend scattered around taking classes with us. And they tell their story of what that product is and how it originated and the history of Berea that ties into that artist. So it is definitely a great enhancement to us. Very pleased to share that we recently filmed a 30-minute TV segment here in Berea to highlight 4 different areas of our city, and it's called Crossroads, which is sort of a backroads show talking about small towns and so forth. So we were privileged to work with Alex Sipple here. He helped us greatly set things up and so forth and be a part of that. But we were able to cover the outdoor adventure piece. We got to cover dining, entertainment, and crafts, which we worked with Sarah Cobworth at Tater Knob, which our anchor host tried to make pottery, but Sarah had a lot to teach him, so, just a half a day wasn't enough for her, but we had fun. It was a great great TV show. It will air on the 22nd tomorrow night, and I will email everyone. I forgot to do that today with the TV show that's going to be playing, and it is a live 30-minute TV show, and Mayor Fraley did not fall out of a boat, and he did great, and we just had really lots of fun. It was a beautiful day in Berea. We could not have picked a prettier tree day to have highlighted all of the foliage that was around here. Another thing that tourism took on this year is we are so pleased to work with Berea Community School and their special needs students. This year, the school has been able to place 6 to 10 different students of special needs in small businesses. So we in tourism were privileged to pick up a young man, Andre, that we absolutely love him, and everybody loves him, and he loves us. So we will have Andre that's with us every Monday for a 1-year program, and our jobs are to teach him how to be in a social environment, just hands-on experience with real things. And he's great at that, and we just have been really privileged to accept that. And if any business in town has the opportunity to do that and be a part of that next year when it comes around, please pick up a student. It's so important. It not only makes us feel good, but think about what we're doing for that person as well. And he certainly does make us feel very humbling and very rewarded to be with him and learn from him as well. Some of the festivals and events that we have sponsored and participated this year through tourism has been the Berea Celtic Festival, the Spoonbread Festival, the Chestnut Street Concert Series, the Holiday Market Affairs, and of course we look forward to sharing the Christmas Parade and sponsoring that this year as well. That brings tons of families and grandparents and visitors into our city, which we very much look forward to as well. Let's see, I'll briefly touch because it was really important. Our Sister City program, Hokuto City, the Japanese visited with us in November of last year, I believe it was. So this year we had a delegation that we sent over, but we had also another group of young homestay students that never got to go back in 2020, which was their turn to go to Hokuto City. They were here. We exchange our visits so that you can stay with the same age group and stay a friend, as you move along, that you meet here and so forth. So that worked out really, really well. But we also hosted a separate piece of Hokuto City that was brought to us 2 years back, and that was to be able to bring their high school, Yamanashi Gakken High School, into our city to learn from our classes of how and what we teach. So this year we had in November or October, we were trying to get our delegates over there and our homestay kids over there while receiving 38 students from their high school level that came here to stay for 2 weeks to learn in our Berea Community Schools, our educational piece and so forth, and our culture. So it's been a really whirlwind of a year with everything that's been going on, but we're so proud of our Sister City program, which is probably hitting 38 years now that we've had that Sister City relationship. Tourism has continued to do well in our motor coach buses. We're just delighted what we've had this year, and I think we'll roll out probably closing out at maybe 100 buses that visited us this year, and that took a lot of time and focus in recruiting tour agents to come to our city to see what we have to offer, our hotels, our gift shops, and what would be attractive to any of that. Through Commissioner Mike Manget of our tourism state level, Mr. Manget worked with us on funding to recruit international trade tour buses here. So Berea was pleased this summer. We had Canada, Germany, and Russia that came here, strictly buses of tour agents that were here to learn more about what we offer. So we've had good surveys returned back to us on what they're looking for to bring their buses here and so forth. So I think that is a new thing that we'll see more and more as the whole state is pushing for international trade. Our international tourism really brings in more dollars spent in our state than our local tourisms do within our state. So we're all about that. We also celebrated in October our National Tree Week again, and that's our third year of doing this, and we were also notified we applied to become an official tree city. So we are excited about that. Next year, we've just got to find places to plant trees and be on the list where people can come and view our trees that we are planting and help nature along the way there. I will close out by saying that our Mayor's Merry Mingling, this will be our third year as well. This will kick off next Saturday night, directly after Shop Small Saturday, 5:30 to 7:30 on the lot and the lawn at the cabin. So we do invite the whole town to come out for that. We have so many wonderful family and friends that really come out for that, and grandparents that are visiting and so forth. We'll be doing a lot of good things there again this year. We've incorporated 3 or 4 different schools that the children are placing their artwork there for grandparents to see as well. So we've opened up the old hotel. One side of that will be honoring and showing the students' art and craft work that's on the wall there as well. Plus we have cocos and hot cocoa and sugar cookies and roasting marshmallows, and Mayor Fraley will be doing the honor of lighting our Christmas tree and kicking off our Christmas season this year. So that will wrap up my report. I will take any questions if any council member has a question.
All right, questions for Donna? Questions or comments? There's a lot going on in the business and tourism development world. Donna, thank you for your report.
My pleasure.
We also appreciate the energy and time that you put into your role as Business and Tourism Development Director.
Thank you.
As well as the hard work of your team.
They're all
You've
great.
assembled a great team, and very proud of what you all are doing for our city. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We're still in department head reports. Would any other department heads like to address the council? Seeing none, we'll move forward to public comment. Would any members of the public like to address the council? All right, seeing none, we'll move directly into city administrator's report. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. I don't have too much for you tonight, but the first thing we have is a line overage approval. We need approval to go over in line item number 010-1005-53400 small tools and equipment. We currently have a balance of $575 in that line, and we need to purchase a commercial grade refrigerator for the intergenerational center. The one that's there right now is 23 years old and it's on its very last leg, and I mean probably last week of working. So we would like to purchase one that we found for $3,343, and I'm asking for a motion to approve the purchase and go over in that line.
Is there a motion by Jerry Little, second by Ron Terrell? Any discussion on the motion to allow the overage on that line item? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Rose?
Thank you. The next thing, I just wanted to let everyone know that the shelter has been installed at the bike park. We created a pad and it's ADA accessible. We have the parking lots finished. It looks beautiful. We are way under budget, by the way, like way under budget. We would not have been able to be way under budget without the help of Roy and his team. They did a great job. If you haven't been out there, go check it out. It looks beautiful. We still have some striping left, but as far as that goes, I think that'll kind of wrap that up for us for now. And I'm really proud of our team and for Brian Reed. He's been helping me to manage projects, and that's been a godsend. So I'm very grateful for all of their help on that. And that's all that I have tonight. I just want to let everybody know that I'll be thinking of you, and I'm thankful for all of you, and I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and thankful for everyone that I get to work with here at the City of Berea. So if you have any questions, I will take them now.
Questions or comments for Rose?
I would like to retract my last statement that I'm done. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Rose.
I
You
thought
still
of
have the
something. I'm
floor.
looking at Ronnie, and I had just talked to him, and so it wasn't on my report because I already had it written. But one of the things that that he asked me to talk about tonight was the update on the bypass, and I don't really have an update per se because, as you guys know, that's not our project. But they did put out a press release. So I'm going to read that, and I think that's fair enough because that's what the information that they've given us. The bypass project is nearing completion for Berea in Madison County. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet advises motorists that the new bypass project is nearing completion. The route location will be east of Berea Road US 25, southeast to Big Hill Road, Kentucky 21. When finished, mile points will be 4.3 to 7.87 with the new road beginning at the existing bypass. This route will serve as a connection. Installation of guardrail and application of thermoplastic markers has been completed. The intersection within Kentucky 956 and US 25 will now be constructed. This intersection will be the new portion at the beginning of the project. The bypass will open once the intersection work has been finished. It's been reported to me that people have been seeing them out there working on the lights. We also saw that a signboard was put up that said that bypass would be opening within the next week. That was their signboard, not ours. So I think that's pretty good information coming straight from them that they're hoping to have that open within the next week. So, and now I really am done. Thank you.
Go. Thank you, Rose. Next, we'll move forward to Mayor's report, and I do have a couple of things. Some of these have been covered, but I did have the Small Business Saturday flyer. This is on the Berea Tourism and Economic Development website, so if you need more information, Donna's talked about it. We had a proclamation, but please go to the tourism website or the business development website to check it out. And, you know, we talked about statistics and numbers, but I usually don't repeat things I see on social media, but this was something I thought was really a good one, that to a nationwide big box, your purchase doesn't mean a lot, but to a small business in your community, it means everything. So please take time if you're buying Christmas gifts or holiday gifts this year, please buy something in the city of Berea. I would urge you to do that. Speaking of that, another thing that you'll find on the tourism website is a flyer for 25 gift ideas for under $25. And this highlights Berea businesses, so you can go on and really clean up and get lots of presents right here in Berea. There are good suggestions that, again, it's on the 25th, right? So they did 25 gifts for under $25, so check that out. Finally, something that was very popular last year that Donna and I talked a little bit about this week is that there is a donation of dry dog food and pictures of Santa for your pet. That's hosted by Berea Tourism and the Madison County Animal Shelter. That will be Saturday, December the 16th, so it's a couple of weeks away, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it is at the Berea Welcome Center. That's the train station. So if you would like to bring a donation of dry dog food for the animal shelter and bring your pet for photos, that'll be another fun thing you can do for the holidays on December the 16th. One other thing that I wanted to mention real briefly, if I can find my notes here, is that on November the 10th, Congressman Andy Barr, along with CHI St. Joseph President John Yanes, our local hospital here in Berea, announced a grant that Congressman Barr secured for our hospital for advanced cardiovascular nuclear medicine that will greatly improve healthcare in Berea. This will be something that's being funded and will be purchased and available soon to citizens of our city and in the surrounding area. This was a $350,000 award, and several council members and I were there on hand. And this is something that's really a big deal. So one of the things that we did while we were there is Rhonda Anglin is the person that supervises that cardiovascular unit, and I've asked Rhonda to come during February to do a presentation for our council on some of the improvements that are right here in our local hospital and the services that are available, because those are things that do what we should be doing, and that's to improve the quality of life of our citizens. And certainly improving health is improving the quality of life. So we look forward to having Rhonda here, and it's actually Rhonda Anglin McMaster. I always call her Rhonda Anglin. She'll get me for that, but we'll have her here for you in February to share a little more detail. That concludes my comments. We'll next move to council comments, and I'll begin with Ron Terrell. Ronnie.
Want everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one.
Thank you, Ronnie. Jerry Little. Jerry.
I got a couple things. I'd like to thank the Allen Company for the job they done on the bypass. I've heard people complain about it and talk about it. When you're in construction, you don't understand the problems you run into and the holdups, and I'm sure the Allen Company wants to get it done as quick as they can, and I think it's going to be a good project. I think it's going to be safe, and I think we're really going to enjoy it. And I just think they've done a great job, and you just don't understand in construction. And then I want to wish everybody a healthy, safe, happy Thanksgiving. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll move down to the end with Jim. Jim, you have the floor.
Just want to thank Donna for her report. Thank you, Mr. Sipple, for being here with us this evening. Chloe, congratulations on your award. Kevin, lakes fill up today? Not hardly, okay, all right. But we're thankful for the rain that we got. Just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I want to thank Paul's family for sharing him with their community for all these years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next, we'll move to Teresa Centers. Teresa, you have the floor.
I was just saying to Jim, we've had a very ceremonial sort of meeting tonight. That's good. We need to do this sort of thing. It's so good to see all of you out there, and congratulations to everybody, and especially to Paul's family. Paul was a true gentleman. Worked with him for many, many years, and y'all know, so I don't have to say anything more than that he was a wonderful human being. So I'm glad to see him honored that way. Kevin, I'm glad to, looking forward to seeing your float in the Christmas parade. I hear this is a first. Good. And speaking of the Christmas parade, I spoke to Danny Miller earlier today, and he wanted to remind everybody to get on the fire engine on the council. Of course, we're short people here, but we'll hope for good weather that night. And sometimes, like Jerry was saying, we hear lots of gripes and complaints, and people are always grousing about something, but we're so fortunate to live in this community, and that's one of the things I'll be thankful for on Thursday. God bless you all.
Thank you, Teresa. And for the last word, Katie Startzman. Katie, you have the floor.
Well, thank you to Donna for your detailed report and all the plates that you and your staff keep spinning for all of our benefit. I think things are really feeling like we have a lot of good momentum in Berea, and it's really good to have that affirmed by your really positive report. And then thank you to the individuals and families of those folks who were honored and recognized tonight. We're so fortunate to have so many people in Berea who care deeply for our community, and the folks who are recognized are just one piece of that and really important. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Katie. And with no further business on the agenda, is there a motion to adjourn? By Teresa Centers, second by Jim Davis. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The meeting is